Once upon a time, in a warm and quiet town, there lived a young girl called Nosibulele. She was very pretty, with smooth, glowing skin, and her cheeks were always pink. Not because she worked hard, but because she slept a lot and spent long hours relaxing by the window. Nosibulele was the only child of a rich family, and her parents loved her deeply. They gave her gifts, comfort, and everything she wanted. However, Nosibulele was famous for one thing more than anything else: her extreme laziness. Nosibulele's parents became worried because their daughter showed no sense of duty or responsibility. To teach her a lesson, they decided to give her a large amount of money and let her manage her own life. They hoped this would help her learn independence. But Nosibulele had a different idea. Instead of using the money wisely, she hired people to do every small task for her. One person cooked her meals, another cleaned the house, and someone else even brushed her hair. Soon, Nosibulele's life was filled with sleeping, eating snacks, and staring at herself in the mirror. As time went on, her money slowly finished. One day, after counting the last few coins she had, Nosibulele realized she was completely broke. She could no longer pay the people working for her, and one by one, they stopped coming. Soon, there was no help left at all, and Nosibulele had nothing for herself. Without any skills and without the desire to work, Nosibulele was stuck. Her cupboards were empty, with little or no food inside, and her comfortable lifestyle disappeared. She sat on her bed, sighing, too lazy to even think about finding a job. Dirty clothes were piled on the floor beside her bed, dust covered the room, and empty cans and candy wrappers were scattered everywhere. Nosibulele was too lazy to clean anything. Just when she felt completely hopeless, the voice of a town crier echoed through the streets. "Hear all, hear all," he called. "Her Majesty the Queen invites all young maidens of good character to a grand banquet at the palace. The purpose is to find a hard-working and suitable wife for Prince Nuku." Nosibulele's eyes lit up with excitement. She had heard stories about the queen's banquets, tables full of food and free gifts everywhere. And if she married Prince Nuku, she would never need to work again. "Just when I thought everything was over, the universe has saved me," she shouted happily as she danced around her messy room. But as she walked to her wardrobe, her happiness disappeared. She saw her old torn dress and worn-out shoes. She hadn't bought new clothes because she was poor. "The prince will never notice me dressed like this," she thought. "I need new clothes and shoes, and I need them quickly." Unwillingly, Nosibulele decided to find a job. She said, "I'll work for only a few days. Once I earn enough to buy what I need, I'll stop." The next day, Nosibulele got a job at a bakery. On her first day, the owner, Mr. Adusu, asked her to bake 10 loaves of bread and place them on the counter. She began kneading the dough, but halfway through, she was already covered in flour and very tired. "What do I do now? My arms hurt. How can I make 10 loaves like this?" After a while, she noticed Mr. Adusu step out of the bakery. Quickly, Nosibulele folded paper bags to look like bread loaves and placed them in the basket. She only put 3 real loaves on top, so it looked full. She didn't care about the loss to the owner. She only wanted her daily pay. When Mr. Adusu returned, he saw the basket and believed she had done a good job. He paid her with a bag of coins, not knowing she had cheated him. Nosibulele took the money and left quickly. she never returned to the bakery. After counting her earnings, she realized it still wasn't enough, so she looked for another job. She met an old fruit seller by the roadside and asked if he needed help. The man happily agreed and asked her to separate rotten fruits from the good ones. Nosibulele agreed eagerly. As soon as the man left, Nosibulele yawned. "I'm too tired for this," she said to herself. "I can't dirty my hands with rotten fruits." She simply arranged fresh fruits on top of the basket to make it look sorted. When the old man returned, he was pleased and paid her. Nosibulele took the money and ran home, never returning. She repeated the same trick with an old woman who asked her to wash clothes. Nosibulele only soaked them in water, turned them inside out, and hung them to dry. She collected her pay and left. The next day, Nosibulele counted her money and saw she had enough. She rushed to buy a beautiful gown and shiny shoes. When the banquet day arrived, she dressed carefully and admired herself, imagining a life of luxury and rest as a princess. At the palace, the hall was full of music, laughter, and beautifully dressed guests. Nosibulele stood proudly among the maidens. Soon, Prince Nuku entered with the queen, greeting everyone. Just as he reached Nosibulele, a voice shouted. It was Mr. Adusu, the baker, accusing her of laziness and cheating. The fruit seller and others joined in, exposing her lies. The queen stood and spoke firmly. Beauty is not enough. A royal must have honesty and responsibility. She declared Nosibulele unfit to be royal. Nosibulele was escorted out in tears. Ashamed, later Nosibulele decided to change. She returned to those she wronged, worked honestly, learned skills, and slowly built a better life. Years later, she became known not just for beauty, but for hard work and integrity. And she never forgot the lesson she learned at the Queen's banquet. Thank you for staying with me till the end. Every story we share carries a lesson, a spark of hope, strength, or warning. If this story touched you, inspired you, or made you think, show some love. Like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Remember, your past does not define your future. Your strength, courage, and choices do. Stay strong, stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next story. Tell me in the comments which part of this story hit you the hardest.